Comparison, the silent saboteur of sexual joy. How often should we be having sex? As a couples and sex therapist, this question echoes in my office more often than you'd think. It's as if there's a secret scoreboard tallying up each intimate encounter and comparing it to some elusive normal. But the truth is, this relentless comparison is a thief, robbing couples of the joy and connection that sex can bring. We've all been conditioned by societal norms, media portrayals, and even whispered conversations to believe that there's a right way to have sex, a certain frequency to aim for, a specific body type that's deemed desirable. This creates a breeding ground for insecurity, anxiety, and a disconnect from our own authentic desires. One couple, I'll call them Emily and David, struggled with this very issue. Emily felt pressured to match the sexual frequency that she saw depicted in movies and TV shows, while David worried that his body no longer lived up to the idolized images he'd internalized. It also didn't help that David had a long history of watching porn since he was a teenager. So let's just say, whether it's movies, TV, porn, all sorts of influences, each person had a script for what they thought should make a good sex life. Their focus on these external standards left them feeling inadequate and disconnected from each other. And here's the thing, they were thinking all these things and they weren't talking about it either. Neither person had any clue that the other person also felt insecure and that the other person also felt like they were falling short of whatever expectation they had for the ideal. It was only through therapy that they learned to discard this concept of normal and embrace their own unique desires and preferences. They discovered that intimacy isn't about ticking boxes or meeting arbitrary quotas. It's about connecting with each other in ways that feel pleasurable and meaningful for both partners. It's time to let go of the numbers game. The frequency of sex is a poor indicator of sexual health. Research is clear about this and shows us that couples who have sex once a week report similar levels of happiness as those who have sex more frequently, or even couples that have sex even less frequently, like once a month. What matters most is the quality of the experience and the emotional connection that it fosters. I've worked with couples who are perfectly content with infrequent intimacy and others who crave daily connection. So there's no one size fits all answer. The key is to prioritize open communication and explore your desires without judgment, and create a sexual landscape that nurtures both partners. Now let's talk about mindfulness. It's very powerful. It's a buzzword. You may roll your eyes, but it's important. There's a book called Better Sex Through Mindfulness by Lori Brotto, and it offers valuable insight about how mindfulness practices can enhance sexual pleasure and intimacy. By cultivating present moment awareness and letting go of expectations, couples can tap into a deeper level of connection and satisfaction. It's really just about being in the here and now rather than time traveling to the past and just thinking about past situations or also anything about the future. If you start thinking about your, grocery list in the middle of sex, that also robs you of the enjoyment of the here and now. So again, if you want to read something more about how to be more present and mindful, Better Sex Through Mindfulness is a good one. Now, lastly, let's talk about therapy. If you are having a hard time, no pun intended, rediscovering your own sexual joy, and maybe you're feeling trapped in this whole comparison issue, or you're struggling with body image concerns, or you're having difficulty with attraction to your partner, or you've got, differences in libido. If you're just feeling disconnected and your sexual relationship isn't where you want it to be, couples therapy really can help, especially with someone who's been trained in sex and sex therapy. We will work together to challenge those ingrained scripts, explore your unique desires, and create a space where you can discover the joy of intimacy that sex can bring. Remember, your sexual journey is your own. Do not let comparison steal your joy. You have one body, your partner has one body. They are different from anybody else's body. Your desire and libido is different than anybody else's desire and libido, and what brings you pleasure is different than what brings someone else pleasure. So it's important that you learn how to embrace your individuality and that you learn how, even if you're trembling a little bit and scared, to communicate openly with your partner about sex. We know from research, lastly, that couples that talk about sex more have better sex, and they often have more sex. So creating a sexual conversation and a sexual climate that celebrates each of you and your own unique connection is what the goal is, not how much sex you're having or what you think normal sex should be. So if you're ready to break free from comparison and cultivate a more fulfilling sex life, visit us at counselingatl.com. Learn more about our approach to couples and sex therapy, schedule a free 20-minute video consult with any of our therapists, or sign up for our next couples workshop if you're looking for more basic skills on communication and conflict and better intimacy as a foundation to those conversations. We're here to support you every step of the way. Thanks so much. Be well.